The Flames have played absolutely sensationally over the past couple of games, and they got another big win against the Montreal Canadiens. And there's one man in particular that is shocking everyone. And with his good play, it has begged a major question. Have the Flames' future plans been revealed? We will get into all of that in this video, but first, I wanted to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here, you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe because right around 84% of the people watching are not subscribed. So if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around the Calgary Flames, then make sure you join the fastest growing community of Flames fans on the internet. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. But, of course, the man who is shocking everyone right now in a good way with how well he is playing is, of course, Dustin Wolf. Wolf is on fire. Wolfie, he has been just sensational lately. His last game against Vegas, before yesterday's game, he played undoubtedly, was the first star of the game. He was just so fantastic between the pipes. And guess what? He won the Flames. Well, him with a lot of others won the game for the Flames yesterday against the Montreal Canadiens. And now, since we're talking about the Habs, I just have to show a little picture here of Dustin Wolf. Yes, it is a wolf. Dustin, isn't that a great Swiffer ad or something? Why do I bring that up with the Habs? Because Josh Goss, the host of Habs Digest, sent me that photo, and I thought it would be perfect to add into this video. If you're a big Habs fan or just want to check out his stuff, please check out Habs Digest. Fantastic channel. But Dustin Wolf, what a punny guy, eh? What a photo that one is. I'm sure that will make a lot of appearances on the channel. But Dustin Wolf, he is the main man in, the Flames community right now on the internet. He's all what the chatter is about, and he has been playing so good. His first few games this year with the Flames, it was all going a little cattywampus. Did I really just say that word? There's the word of the day for you. If you needed a word of the day, feel free to go check out the definition of that one. But yeah, cattywampus. That's the best way to describe how, his first few games went with the Flames this year. But the past couple have been so good, and it's great to see. So let's take a look at Wolf's stats over the past few games here. Now, against Colorado, he obviously was not the starter. It was Vladar. He came in, made 3 saves at the end of the game. Great. He technically gets a shutout. But that's not what we're focusing on here. We're focusing on these 2 big starts against the defending Cup champions and the most storied franchise in NHL history, where he was insane. Made 64 saves over 2 games. Had over a .950 save percentage if you combine the two, and only gave up 3 goals. This is what the Flames fans and Flames organization have been waiting for. A goalie to finally break out and play well. We've seen goalies over, the past few years, few decades who were always built up and never became much. I mean, you think of Tyler Parsons, maybe like a John Gillies, guys who at some point maybe did come up to the NHL, but definitely did not become the big starter the Flames needed. And the Flames, Markstrom has been insane. He's been great this year, was terrible last year, was amazing the year before. But the Flames haven't had a consistently good goalie since Mika Kiprusoff and have looked in so many places for that and haven't found it. There's been some guys who put up decent numbers over the years and, made the playoffs. You think of Jonas Hiller, Brian Elliott even, but Dustin Wolf looks like he could definitely be that guy of the future if Markstrom is no longer here. But it's great to see that Wolf is playing so well. And guess what? He's making history. Surrounded by greatness, Dustin Wolf has passed Cujo in career wins, and he's one back of Grant Fuhr in Calgary Flames history. If you throw out the Calgary Flames part, it seems like Dustin Wolf is one of the best goalies in NHL history. Is he better than Cujo and Grant Fuhr? No, of course, that is just a funny little joke there. Cujo barely played here. Obviously, Grant Fuhr also barely played here. But it's funny to see that Dustin Wolf has already passed greatness and is up the ranks in the Flames' all-time wins. And it's great for him because you can tell he wants to be in this organization. He wants to be at the NHL level. He obviously thinks he's ready, and he's proven at the AHL level that he is ready. And it's finally paying dividends for him that he is playing so well and getting wins. And it's even without Tanev and Hanifin, who were, stalwarts at the back, really, when it came to the penalty kill and shutting down opponents' offense. And now Wolf can do it, and it's so nice to see as a Flames fan. And there's potential that maybe for the future, that means he is the number 1 guy. So, have the future plans kind of been revealed here? It's not necessarily a report, it's more of a showcase of just how good Dustin Wolf has been. And it's great to see that he can really keep the Flames in games and win them games. A big thing about that game yesterday against Montreal, I mean, obviously Michael Backlund was vintage backs, played so well. So many guys had good games. Miramanov, it's so nice to see him. You can tell he just loves playing for the Flames, which is so nice, especially as a defenseman after everything the Flames have been through. He got a big goal, so good to see. But Dustin Wolf, obviously, is the main man. So is he truly the goalie of the Flames' future here? There's so many options of next season, will they stick with these same three goalies and Markstrom, Vladar, and Wolf? Will Vladar be traded away? Will Markstrom be traded away? Markstrom is the big question mark in the goalie equation for the Flames heading into the future. There's a report that the Devils plan to target Markstrom and UC Saros in the offseason. I think we all knew this. The Devils obviously really wanted to pursue Markstrom at the trade deadline. Talks happened, but nothing happened. But let's read here. The New Jersey Devils may not have landed a legitimate number one goalie at the trade deadline, but that doesn't mean their pursuit of upgrading between the pipes is over. The club plans on re-engaging with the Calgary Flames about Jacob Markstrom and checking in with the Nashville Predators about the availability of UC Saros once the offseason arrives, and that comes from Pierre LeBrun. So, there's a strong chance that Markstrom could still be traded this offseason. And a lot of Flames fans will say, Markstrom has never had two good seasons in a row. His value is at an all-time high right now. Deal him away in the summer. And there's obviously a fair point to that, but there's also the point of, look, this is actually a legitimate number one goalie. Maybe the Flames do need that. Then other people will say, well, the Flames should tank next year and try and get a high draft pick. It's such a deep draft. There's so much talent up top in that draft, too. The Flames should try and get the number one pick. Flames fans will say anything. It's a very vast fan base, and there's so many opinions, and that's great. It's better than everyone having the same opinion. But it does beg the question, what are the Flames going to do this offseason in between the pipes? If Wolf can really showcase that he is fully ready for the NHL in the rest of this season, then there's a strong chance he could be the starting goalie going into next season. I know that's a big jump, but it's definitely possible. Vladar hasn't been great lately, and I think a lot of Flames fans would much rather have Wolf than Vladar, even if it's just in a backup role to Markstrom. And then if Markstrom is traded away to New Jersey or elsewhere, then I think most Flames fans would want Wolf as the starter regardless. Either way, it's not a bad place to be in with your number one prospect, you could say, finally showing what they have at the NHL level against decent opponents. Montreal is a team who, obviously, they're struggling this year. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're kind of in tank mode right now, but they still have some elite weapons up top, and Wolf was able to stop them for the most part. We saw how many saves he made. It's not a bad place to be, but I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want to know what you guys think. What goalie tandem do you want going into next season, and is Wolf the number one goalie for the Flames of the future? Please let me know down in the comments. Now, let's look ahead at the Flames' week. Obviously, they had a bad start to this week and then finished off very strong with wins against Vegas and Montreal. Now, this upcoming week is interesting because the Flames are a little bit closer to the playoffs than a lot of people would have expected. So, the upcoming games this week are tomorrow, they play against the Capitals at home. It's always fun to welcome Ovechkin and company into the building. Then they have a huge break, no games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and they go out to Vancouver for a quick little stop in to play the Canucks against Lindholm, and that's a big one because the Canucks, they're an interesting team, and the Flames always seem to stay competitive against them since the Sedins have left. And then quickly right back home the next day against the Sabres. So some winnable games there, some comparable teams in Washington and Buffalo as teams who, are making a push for the playoffs here. Maybe a little bit surprisingly for some, but Washington, Buffalo, Calgary, they're all similar, kind of in that mushy middle, could make a run at the playoffs. So let's take a look at the playoff picture in the West now. Calgary, they only sit 6 points behind the Golden Knights and 8 points behind the Kings. The Golden Knights have one game in hand, but the Flames, if they can win, let's say 12 of the last 15 games, which I know is a lot to ask for, then there's a strong chance they could make the playoffs. And the schedule isn't exactly easy. Obviously, there's Vancouver in there. I think they play Edmonton again. And it's a hard task, but it's not out of the question that the Flames could make it. I believe on Money Puck this morning, the Flames had around an 8% chance of making the playoffs, which isn't high. And I'm not saying the Flames are making a big push for the playoffs here, but you string a few wins together like they just did, a 2-game win streak. If they continue that momentum, we could see the Flames playing into late April, which would be super exciting. And maybe Wolf would be the tendy. Nah, it'd probably be Markstrom, but either way, things are looking somewhat up for the Flames. And even if, it takes a season or two, I think the Flames have a strong chance of being a very good team in the future. We say that all the time as Flames fans, as, hockey fans, as just sports fans in general. You always want to stay optimistic with your team, but the Flames are not in the worst position possible right now. And it's great to see Wolf finally breaking out at the NHL level. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you're new around here, and I hope you have a wonderful rest